The new buzzword in the industry today is EdTech. We all have seen the change what EdTech has done to education. But is it the end of the curve when it comes to EdTech, or is there anything more for EdTech? Hey folks, welcome to CSKSpeaks. I am CSK and I am an educator. EdTech has taken the entire educational sector by storm. We keep getting reports after reports. Yes, of course, 2 years ago, it was all the online learning which took the center stage. But today, as COVID is waning away and students are coming back to institutions, schools and colleges and universities, is it the end of the road for EdTech, or is there still something more for EdTech in India and in the industry? So today we're going to understand three things. One, what is happening when it comes to EdTech and education. Two, why this mixed reports coming from different corners. And three, what are those 10 different ways or things which we can look up to when it comes to the changing trends in education and EdTech. So what is happening with EdTech? Yes, 2 years ago, we started seeing influx of many tools and technologies into the education space. It was the need of the hour because the classrooms were shut and students and teachers had to get connected. So there were various tools which came in as rescue. But now you see the big giants laying off people. The EdTech conglomerates are giving pink slips to employees left, right and center. Indian unicorns are in the rat race of laying off people and reducing their bench strength. But on the other hand, we keep hearing reports after reports and newspaper clippings which talks about one organization taking over another company. Some companies which are big when it comes to deep pockets and financials are coming to the traditional brick and mortar institutions like tuition centers and many more. But otherwise, what are these things and what is this signifying? It only signifies that the market is now going through the norming and the forming stage. What is that? It is trying and testing different permutations and combinations, and then it is getting evolved. And this is a process of evolution. So the stable, the fittest ones are surviving, and those who are finding hard to find their feet are trying to survive, and in the process they are losing out of the race. So that is the current situation when it comes to the EdTech. Now two, why are we getting this mixed reports? The reason why we are getting the mixed reports is some places people have already written off educational technology saying this was only a stopgap arrangement for the COVID affected pandemic years, but now since everything is getting back to normalcy, educational technology can be just a supplementary but not the mainstream. That's one reason. Another reason is maybe that it was too much too fast and people could not kind of take it into their systems. The integration did not happen, and as a matter of fact, because of excessive pressure, things are trying to wither away. So these are the reasons why mixed reports are coming, that one side EdTech is over and the other side EdTech is the future. But my personal opinion at this point of time is EdTech is here to stay and EdTech is definitely the future. This is my personal opinion. Now before I go forward and talk to you about 10 different things in EdTech which we need to look out for, let me make a disclaimer. This is not a sponsored video. Nobody, no names I'm going to take now are sponsoring me or my associates when it comes to this video, but I'm just trying to give you the trends. I'm trying to show you which way things are shaping up. All right. So without much ado, let's get started. So the top ideas for the future when it comes to the next wave of EdTech in India. These are my 10 top picks. Number one is tutoring and test prep. Yes, we have heard and we have seen and we have even tried some things, but tutoring and test preps are here to stay, and that's the future. Why? For the simple reason that the large mass of Indian population, the higher number of students who go for competitive exams, that's a big market. Another thing, the government, the changing national education policies, recommendations, the common entrance test for universities, both private and government, these are all things which are aiding this particular sector in the Indian education space. Some of the examples of tutoring and test prep options or EdTech companies is your COURSEMEDIUM, ENTRI and LEARNVERN. I'm going to put them all there, but you can check it out. Many more are there, but then I'm just giving you these are examples. Next is digitization in educational institutions, B2B. ERP is old, but digitization, end-to-end digitization. What do I mean by that? Automation, LMS, learning management solutions for administrative operations and admissions. All these things are the mainstay of educational technology, and they are going to come in more and more to every institution. So that's another area to look at. Exam proctoring in schools, colleges and universities is another way of automation, and that's going to be there. Some of the companies who are working in this space is Olympus, EXTRAEDGE, KNEWCLEUS, Next Education. Some of these companies we already have heard of, but that's another zone. Third, digital learning enablement, B2B. While the digitization in educational institutions takes care of administration, operations and admissions, digital learning enablement is purely on the LMS side of it, where you provide digital platforms for students where they can conduct and learn through online lectures, online lessons, online tests and exams, and then they can complete their lessons and their courses. So that's going to be there. Like CLASSPRO, TEACHMINT, these are examples of digital learning enablement. So they are supplementary to physical learning in classrooms. Next is Fintech in Education. We have heard of green tech and clean tech and many more, but Fintech in education is financing your education through these NBFCs, that is the non-banking financial corporations. Many companies have come up. For example, FINANCEPEER is one, then you've got AVANSE and many more. So what they are doing is they are platforms who provide student loans and loan refinancing options. So that is Fintech in Education. They are doing that. In fact, another thing which will come up, trend has already started in the West, but it is yet to come to India, is funding your fees for higher education and universities, and they will not charge you anything till you get into a job. That means you get funded, they invest in your degree, and you get a job, and your job pays for that particular fees. So that's another thing which is going to come up as a level up for Fintech in Education. Number 5 is student housing. Yes, hostels we have all heard of, but the new trend is schools and colleges and institutions are no more interested to put heavy capital on land and building for building their hostels. So what has happened is the new concept of student housing, where there are companies like, for example, Stanza Living or Placio. These people, they are platforms, they provide student accommodation services. They set up the infrastructure, they operate it like how a service apartment is operated in connection or association with the college or the university, and students get all benefits and all facilities taken care of by these service providers. So that's another way where education and these people get connected and integrate their services and offerings. Next is education and employment continuous learning. Now we have heard of Upgrade, we have heard of many other platforms, for example, like Masai, Great Learning. Now these are people who are providing you finishing skills, skill development or skill enhancement, where you can learn continuously even after taking a job, or you can doing some part-time work or some kind of a gig, but still you're continuously improving and enhancing your qualification, your knowledge, and that will enable you to take up better opportunities and better gigs. So that's another thing which is definitely going to be big in the coming years as far as education is concerned. Next is admission support and counseling. More and more remote servicing is happening, That means you're connecting with parents, prospecting and counseling them, getting them onboarded is all getting digital. So with the entire ecosystem getting into one common calendar, admission counseling and onboarding is another thing, and lot of service providers have come up and providing their services for universities, colleges and institutions to help them achieve this. For example, Meet University, Leverage Edu, these are people who have come up with these options for institutions and educational systems. Next is AR and VR in education. Augmented reality, virtual reality. We've all heard, we've all experienced, and we've all seen how artificial intelligence is taking over. Machine learning is trying to be the new thing. But in education, augmented reality for conceptual clarity, virtual reality for people to enjoy simulations, that's going to be there. And more these things are going to enter the space. We are implementing it in our preschools and primary classes. Then imagine where it can go when it comes to universities and postgraduate colleges. So that's where AR and VR is going to play a very important role when it comes to the new EdTech revolution. Some of them which are already offering Practically or Photon, Shifu Education. These are some of the examples I can give you. Next is online STEM learning. Science, technology, engineering, mathematics, or you can even add arts, then make it STEAM. But these are things which are coming up online, and many more tools are available for people to understand multiple layers of science, technology, engineering and mathematics. Camp K12, Think Stir. These are some examples I can give you when it comes to this kind of space. Last and the final one, when it comes to the top ideas for the future, next wave in EdTech in India is extracurricular learning. Dance, music, drama, theater, all of those hobbies, they can also now get connected to students online, and your son or your daughter or your friend, your neighbor can enjoy that guitar class sitting in front of the computer. That is happening, and many people are already offering those services like Riaz, Learn Piano or Vanido. These are some of the options. So these are platforms that are giving those kind of services, certificate programs, experts coming and teaching, many such things. So top 10 trends in EdTech. So my verdict, EdTech is here to stay and is here to grow. It's not going anywhere. Thank you very much for watching CSK Speaks. Do like, share and comment on this video. Thank you.